I had no idea that I had a hearing problem.
I wasn't hearing. I was hesitant to ask again what the person said. Just very unsure about what I was doing because of my hearing loss.
I was missing words at movie theaters. I was missing words watching television. I was missing words in conversation.
It was a terrifying experience, not knowing what that person was saying.
I didn't even realize that there was a disconnect going on because it was just slowly over time. You don't even realize that you're starting to disconnect from the world.
I didn't know there was anything wrong. That's the thing, I had no idea there was something wrong.
I always thought my wife was talking very soft. I thought that she was always turning down the TV. I always thought there was just too much background noise where I couldn't hear. And I was constantly having to ask her, what did they say? And she finally just said to me, says, you really need to have your hearing checked. And I politely told her I didn't think I had a hearing problem, but she needed to have speech therapy.
I was diagnosed with my moderate hearing loss at age 25. I didn't do anything about it for probably, about 7 years because I figured I could get by, and hearing aids are for old people. I'm 25, I don't need hearing aids. But when I realized how much I was missing is when I realized that I could definitely use hearing aids.
I was still young. I needed to keep working, and so that was my motivation.
I was just determined that I was going to hear better, and I wasn't disappointed.
It's a tough decision because you start thinking, get a hearing aid, what's that going to do to me? What's that going to do to my appearance? I'm not a vain person, but still you don't want a box sticking out of your ear or behind your ear or anything like that.
They won't realize the difference until they have the hearing aid and have the testing. And once they get the testing done and they know what's the right hearing aid for them, it's like night and day. It's a complete change.
I would recommend her to get a hearing test and maybe visit an audiologist.
I was astounded at the clarity and at how I suddenly felt like I was back among the hearing.
I think I'm glad that I got my hearing aids as soon as I realized I had a hearing loss.
I waited 7 years to receive a pair of hearing aids, and I wish I wouldn't have. In those 7 years, I did lose quite a bit of relationships, jobs, quality of life. I missed out on 7 years of a great life.
Personally, I see no reason to wait to get a hearing aid if you have a hearing loss. You're missing out on so much.
Being a 30-year-old and wearing hearing aids, I was back into life again. And I suppose vanity reasons, I did get a very small pair of hearing aids, but it helped me to hear.
A neighbor came over and we were talking, and all of a sudden he said, you really can't see him, can you? And it was really funny because I was trying to tell him, yeah, the technology is wonderful, but they get smaller and smaller and smaller as a time. And they have the canal hearing aids now that you can put them in, and you really have to be looking hard to see them.
It's very concealed. Even those that walk behind me don't see it.
I've never had anyone come up and say, oh, you're wearing hearing aids.
Those little things are hearing aids? And she said, yes. And I said, they're going to take care of my hearing? And she said, yes. And I said, wow.
With my hair, it covers up the equipment, and because of the coloring of the tubes, no one can tell you're having hearing aids unless you come right up and look in your ear.
That's the really nice thing. No one knows that I wear hearing aids. And I even forget sometimes that I'm wearing hearing aids. And it was important in taking this new job because they did ask about hearing loss, and I was able to say, no, I did not have a hearing loss because there's no maintenance and nothing visible with these hearing aids, and it's like I can hear.
I mean, if you put the camera real close on me right now, you probably still couldn't tell. Isn't that something? Thank you, Nola.
The funny thing is, no one in all the years I've been wearing them has ever said a thing about them most of the time they're not even aware.
To place a very small hearing aid inside of your ear, no one will notice. The only thing that people will notice is that you're back into the conversation, that you're enjoying everything, that you're not so focused on people's faces to try and read lips, read eyes, that you're just into the whole conversation of everything again. No one notices that you have hearing aids.
Don't wait. It's what I would tell anyone who has even the slightest hearing problem. Don't wait. You're losing time and you're losing an important quality in your life.
There's no reason for delay. You can hear better right away. You can look as good as you do. People can't even tell you're wearing hearing aids. And you know what? The time it takes to clean and put batteries in your hearing aid and put it back on is less time than it takes to brush your teeth. So there should be no delay.
I would tell anybody else to get hearing aids because you can hear better and you'll feel better about yourself. You don't feel like you can't hear and you're like different from anybody else.
One of the good things is after I got my hearing aids, I could actually hear my wife.